Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where their boots stomp all night. What? Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid, to get your girl in your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back a spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawling southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here. Drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back and spit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now girl, hop inside. Me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. Let's ride. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back and spit.
And as ZZ Top says, how. Welcome to the Wingit Call, September 6th, 2016. Who would have thought we'd been here now? The recording is going. The disclaimer is as said next. We're not attorneys, financial advisors, CPAs, or any type of financial advice. We are not. What we have is our own opinions. This is not to be taken as any form of legal advice. And for the rest of the disclaimer, please go to my webpage, thewingitcall.com. There is a disclaimer tab. Click on the disclaimer tab, and you'll get the rest of the disclaimer. I think we're disclaimer free here now. Lots of things to talk about. But first, we will get to the Artmeister.
Did you do your prayer?
Oh, I did not. I'm sorry. Please, everybody, take a knee. I'm so excited. Not that there's a lot of good news. There's just news, and I forgot. Take a knee, please. Dear Lord, please bless and guide the people that are listening. Give them an understanding heart, ears to hear, and just your general protection for all of us. And we ask this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. All right, Art, go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody in Currency Land. I hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. I know I did. had a big family get together Sunday where we about once a month get together with the whole family to have a dinner. Kind of nice to do that, and I'm sure you all got football out like I did. A lot of good football games on, and start a new week. I do have a few things here. You know, we've heard every day we're going to get the numbers, and we're hearing that again today. But so who knows? We just kind of accept the fact that we hear it every day. But I will. This is called Pray Hard. This is about the G20. It says, "Hey, all, I've never been so expectant of the news we have awaited. All information is exciting and reports are solid, as well as some backed up even by mainstream media. I don't think any of us imagined how significant the G20 meeting in Hangzhou, or however you pronounce that, China, would be. This has been taking place the past 2 days, 4th and 5th. Remember, they are 15 hours ahead of Pacific Daylight Time and Mountain Standard Time Zone, and it is already September 6th there at this time. This was yesterday evening. The G20 leaders are reported to be unified, taking care of final settlement talks for all global disputes. They determined not to leave this negotiating environment, same country, same city, same room, same table, until all matters were deemed collectively resolved and absolute unification was achieved. Signatures in all treaties are required by the universal law. No country or leader may leave until all treaties are made law via their signature. I want to remind you that 209 countries met months ago and included in other business matters. They all signed off also that the restored Republic of the U.S. was at that point the recognized government. In parentheses, the UN had also signed off to recognize the Republic government also, end of parentheses. This meeting and resultant agreements are referred to as the Paris Agreement or Paris Treaty and was under the umbrella of the climate change. In regard to the G20 meeting in China that has just wrapped up, former President Obama is not being included in this process as he is no longer deemed the lead diplomat for the Republic of the U.S. That is why he did not get the red carpet treatment. General Dunford is signing all treaties, including the Paris Agreement on Climate Change for the Republic of the United States, per his own nation's internal constitution. So this is precisely why all such real or new leaders have gathered in China, as many are publicly unknown, given all the severe and dramatic changes made privately in their countries. Remember, one of my last notes stated that part of the cleanup in government and finance has brought on leaders of nations stepping down and new leaders in place. This is a little bit lengthy, but I think it's important. It's really good stuff. Many this weekend are meeting for the very first time to implement GSARA collectively, and their combined will through the body of law will now take full effect beginning in the fourth fiscal quarter of 2016, October 1st. Global Monetary Reconstitution, aka the GCR/RV, is also included within the GSARA legal framework of change. Thus, intake and settlement of all defaulted historic assets, including all fiat currencies, will now be retrieved, redeemed, and revalued, as well as removed from physical existence. The entire global monetary reconstitution process is scheduled to complete by the end of year September 9th, so your world can permanently recalibrate beginning on October 1st. The last three paragraphs above were written by someone else with inroads to the information presented. As for the information regarding former President Obama, it was seen on mainstream media, news broadcast, where the Chinese government representative/airport not only did not provide red carpet treatment, but they also did not provide stairs for him to disembark the plane. He had to go to a rear exit to be able to deplane. When a lady got in their face about it, she was made to understand that this was their country and their airport. As we have stated in other updates, Mr. Obama is no longer the recognized president of our country. I will also add here that this will become evident soon to the people here in our country. The media has sat on this information, much the same as they have done with the truth concerning the Clintons, and full disclosure will soon be presented. As for where this puts us in our expectation of life-changing monetary events, the G20 meeting will end on the 5th, has already ended, and we fully expect all funds to be released on Tuesday, as today. We are aware of bonds as well as large groups of people who have been told to expect their funds on Tuesday. Our group paymaster is expecting release of our funds along with the 800 numbers today, so we can make appointments for redemption/exchange this week, probably as early as Tuesday. It is reported by credible sources this is the end of this ride, and our new lives individually as well as collectively as a nation are beginning. And then they also reported that, and this is a different one, that the IEX connected with the trade platforms all over the world last night at 2:03 a.m. Were instituted. It took 37 minutes to connect. This means Iraq Exchange is live now. Trading commences today. 7:50 p.m. tonight is the expected time frame. Meetings are occurring right now in Atlanta with Wells Fargo and AD leadership. EX connected with trade platforms all over the world last night at 2:03 a.m. Eastern Time. This means they repeated that 2 times. Leadership, I don't know why they do that sort of stuff. We should be in the bank exchanging tomorrow. 656 Wells Fargo branches are open tomorrow. We're looking good for tonight. Tomorrow morning is our backwall date. Legal at Wells Group said they were told funds would be released last night and they must be liquid by Tuesday. Told they're exchanging some large humanitarian groups now, and will go when they finish, saying the process continues. As of September 4th in Asia, 187 countries turned in PA commitments to UN with signatures. Together they constitute 97% of world GDP/carbon emission. They claim the galactics are participating with new treaties and agreements to help humanity move forward. They did the same when writing and approving U.S. Constitution. Disclosure is the hot topic. To be finalized September 5th. Once completed, the RV will be released globally. And they talked about no planes leaving. That was yesterday or the day before, though. There's also a news blackout, maybe. And let's see if there's anything else in here. Well, the cabal has been making last desperation attempts to stop the RV, but they've been hunting them down and taking care of them, they say, so don't worry about that. Exchanges will start and trading will commence as it's supposed to be. Of course, they're hearing the ZIM rates are extremely high, as usual, and Labor Day is the lowest intra-data usage traffic day in the USA. God is with us. Just basically saying everything is really right there and ready. And there's just another little one here that subject is about Mr. O. G20 ends abruptly as Obama calls Putin a jackass. Well, that's nice. St. Petersburg, this is the Borowitz report. Hopes for a positive G20 summit crumbled today as President O blurted to Russia's Vladimir Putin in a joint press appearance, "Everybody here thinks you're a jackass." The press corps appeared stunned by the uncharacteristic outburst from Mr. O, who then unleashed a 10-minute tirade at the stone-faced Russian president. "Look, I'm just talking about Snowden and Syria," Mr. Obama said. "What about riots? I don't know about that. What about your anti-gay laws? Total jackass moves, my friend." As Mr. Putin narrowed his eyes in frosty silence, Mr. Obama seemed to warm to his topic. "If you think I'm the only one who feels this way, this is Putin now, you're kidding yourself." Mr. O, jabbing his finger in the direction of the Russian president, Obama said, "Ask Angela Merkel, ask David Cameron, ask the Turkish guy. Every last one of them think you're a jackass." Shortly after Mr. Obama's volcanic performance, Mr. Putin released a terse official statement reading, "I should be afraid of this skinny man. I wrestle bears." After one day of meetings, the G20 nation voted unanimously on a resolution that said maybe everybody just should plain go home. That was the end of that one. Lots of fun over there, it seems like. And I don't know. He went to Laos. They didn't respect him too well there, and the Philippine president called him an SOB, I think. And so I don't know. All that stuff is probably uncalled for, even if he's not making decisions anymore or whatever they claim he's not. So who knows? So I read a bunch of stuff and take it for what it is, and hopefully all that's true about today. We're waiting for the 800 numbers, and that's all we need really to get in there and do our thing. So that's all I got, and I'll turn it back over to you, Jerry.
Thanks, Art. Got a question. It kind of goes into what we want to talk about today. That little email issue there. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, which one?
Well, with what happened to you.
Oh, yeah, I was hacked. 2 of my accounts, my Gmail account and my AOL account, I had to change passwords on both of them, and I was awakened this morning early by somebody calling and saying, "Hey, you've been hacked." I said, "What?" They said, "Yeah, they want $1,900 to bail you out of France. You're robbed of all your credit cards and everything, and you can't leave the hotel till you pay the bill, and so they need money to." And that's real serious stuff. I mean, somebody hacked my entire list, as a matter of fact, and I didn't even find it in my AOL account. I have my email list. I send out to about 150 some to 160 people whenever I send emails out, and so I did change all my passwords, and everything's good to go now. But and not just that, but I got a check in the mail and called for in a 2-day priority USPS envelope a week ago Saturday. It was from a credit union in McAllen, Texas, for $1,765. And I thought, well, what the heck is this? I didn't send for no money. And the guy it came from was in Florida. The remitter, it said remitter, some gal's name on the check. And so Monday morning I called up the credit union in McAllen, Texas, and I said, "It's your insignia, your logo. I'm on your website. Everything looks exactly the same. Sure looks like an official cashier's check." And they said, "What's the check number?" I told them. They said, "No, it's not one of our checks." I said, "Well, it's a scam then." So I took it to my bank and talked about it, and he called him and got the same result. So he would send it back to the McAllen branch, and then I get a text and asking me from somebody saying, "Hope you got the check for $1,765. You're to take $250 out of this check, and then you're to forward this to this person and this person." And this happened to me one time before, so of course I knew it was a scam. So I simply texted back. I said, "Buddy, you've been caught." And I said, "You've been reported to the police, the FBI, and anybody we can think of in McAllen, Texas, for drawing a check on an official bank down there that they have no clue about. It's not one of their checks." I said, "So I guess you better go hide right now." And I never heard back from them, of course. So yeah, stuff like that happens, and it seems more and more all the time. So that's crazy, you know.
Thank you, Art. Wingman. Wingman.
Yeah, he tried to call me this morning too.
There we go. Yeah, Art, I'm glad you're not stuck in Paris.
Thank you, Art. If you'll just mute on your end.
All right.
So that's a security thing we're going to talk about here. Wingman, you got anything to add to the intel portion of this call? Before you say before you say anything, it's since last Friday's call, it has been a roller coaster ride of information. And if you've ever heard Tony say, if I updated you every time or tweeted out every time something changed, it'd make your head spin. From
Jerry,
minutes.
Jerry?
Go ahead.
By the way, Oki is still getting calls. The other night he said his phone just rang off the hook till he finally turned it off about 1 or 2 in the morning. People calling for 800 numbers. People keep doing this to him. I wish they'd stop. So let's make sure.
Let me tell you what, Art. Let me tell you what the problem is. It's those yahoos over on Twitter that started up a Twitter account, and it says Oki at Oki Oilman something.
Right.
I've had to block all this stuff from my Twitter page, and they've posted his personal phone number, his cell phone number. They've also posted admin bills, and they did it just recently again. And if somebody would like to help Oki out or admin Bill and report those people, I've done my best with Twitter. Twitter really doesn't give a crap. It's going to have to be a mass campaign. Hold on here, and I will tell you exactly what the name of that site is, or the Twitter. I've got to go to my list here. Hold on just a second, and I'll tell you what it is. I have a long list of people I've blocked, so give me just a second. Let's see. No. Well, it's such a long. Oh, there it is. I don't know why they have it like that, but it's off at Okie Oilman at Okie Oilman. That's the Twitter, how they've got it listed. And it's probably Kenny and Michelle Diston that it's doing all this, along with, what's that? It doesn't even make any difference. Bless their hearts. So when I get another one, I'll try to tweet out what the issues are. But anyway, those are the people that are doing that, and that's why Okie's getting those problems. It eventually light will be shined upon the offending individuals, and then from there, let the authorities take it over. So, roller coaster, on a roller coaster since Friday. If I was to notify you every time something changed, it'd be a phone call, hang up, wait 5 minutes, another one. Hey, it's changed, up and down, up and down. So, looks like back in July I made an observation that we could possibly make it to October 1st when the Chinese go asset-backed to wait that long. Hope not. It was just an observation, but look where we're at. First full week in September. We've got 1, 2, 3 more full weeks of September before October 1st. So, and if it doesn't go until October 1st, my prediction is that it'll be, the middle of like the 4th, 5th, or 6th of October before we may see any action. That's just me. I'm not calling it. I'm not giving a date. I'm making an observation. Wingman, what do you think? Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. No, my I'm in the car, so. Are you there?
Yes. I'm here. Go ahead. Uh-oh. Operator error again. There you go. You're back in. Come on down. Oh, yeah, *2 to raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Wingman? Uh-oh. Well, anyhow, *2 to raise your hand to ask a question. So we're getting a lot of ups and downs. Everybody is fully frustrated. I'm almost ready to cut this back to 1 call a week, but we still need to know what's going on. Wingman, you're cutting in and out. I think you're in a bad spot there. I'd like to cut it back to 1 call a week.
How's that now?
5 by 5. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, not to be too cynical about it, but basically, the way I'm running my life right now is, if it shows up on DNR recaps, I completely ignore it. That's how I see this. Any information that shows up on recaps can't be valid, because anybody who really knows anything about this has their mouth shut tighter than a you know what. It makes no sense. And all these, you know, and now what they're doing with the intel is they're trying. Well, let's be precise about it. It happened at 3 minutes after 2. Get the hell out of here. You know, I'm just so frustrated with this whole thing. And quite frankly, if people are going to believe it at this point, they're just going to believe it. That's who they are. There's no education anymore. You either understand what's happening with this deal or you don't. That's just the way it is. You know, people are gonna be worth millions of dollars pretty soon, or if not billions. And they got to start thinking like billionaires and billionaires, not like gullible people on the internet, you know, who played the lottery. So that's it. Yeah, I was in a bed.
And that's okay. Where everybody is frustrated, and I do my best not to let my frustration spill over onto the call, because I would like to tell it like it is, with a few choice words, but I'm trying to be better than that. I've been schooled that sometimes flavorful words aren't always the best choice, but I've always said, yeah, but it sure fits the moment and it tells it exactly like it is. So that being said, let's get to Iraq. I've heard all the stories. I've got the phone calls. I've got the text, emails about what's going on over there. Again, it is not all about Iraq. They are the center of attention. That's where they want people to look at. But it's, as this process goes along, you can use Iraq and what's coming out of there as an indicator of how we are in the process. Iraq is not the end all. They're being told when to do something, when to make a couple steps forward, when to make a couple steps backwards. You can't look strictly at Iraq and say, oh yes, this is where we're at. Hold on. Okay. I would like to say that that's where we're at by saying watch Iraq, but you can't. Use it as part of the show, of the play, of the opera play. We're in the final act, but there's a lot of sub acts in the act as you're watching it play out. We're right there. It's just when are they going to pull the curtain back and say it's showtime?
Hey,
so that
you could almost reverse the old maxim: when Iraq goes, we go. The way I see it these days is when we go, Iraq goes, because everybody's going to go together, or it's going to happen all at once. And everything else is just pure conjecture. It just is. I mean, I know that doesn't help people feel good about this, but quite frankly, it's not about feeling good. You know, we're in an investment. We're in a business deal, a highly complex, extremely complex legal financial transaction, and that's how it's being treated by the people who are actually doing it. You know, if you got an emotional problem, just get out of the boardroom because you don't belong. That's really what it boils down to. And I know that's cold, but it's the truth. This is we're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars, and nobody who's in control of this thing gives a gosh darn about whether somebody's feelings are hurt. You know, just get over it. And that's how it's going to be, guys, post-RV. You know, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Believe me, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. anything, they're going to be angry with you. They're going to be jealous. That's going to be a daily occurrence. They'll have to learn how to.
Let's just address real quick, and then I want to take some callers about the security issue, and that's why I asked Art. Art got his email hacked.
Hey, JR, I got a
Yeah.
mute for about 10. Okay. I'll be listening, but I got a mute.
Okay. Art got his email hacked, so when this goes down, your first thing is cybersecurity. If it can happen to the Art Meister, it can happen to any of us, is what I'm trying to say. So we've talked about the security issues before. I'm not going to bring that up this call. We're going to go straight to callers. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I was hoping that Aiko could. I got a question. I think it's more of a comment, but if Aiko can hear me and either agree or disagree. But I called in last week asking about the Chinese yuan going asset backed or being part of the reserve currency. And after doing some work on it over the weekend, I think I may have put in my mind exactly what is going down. I think. So
well,
on October, go ahead.
No, you're first.
So on October 1st, the yuan is going to be part of the reserve currency. In June, they actually priced that currency towards the gold index. Ergo, it's asset backed for all intents and purposes. Is that the way you see it?
Yes.
So we have a fail-safe date, we thought we did, of September 1st to get all of this currency out of the marketplace to a certain degree, USD. In the meantime, we've got how many other countries, whatever it is, 148, 200 and whatever countries, whose central banks are holding USD. So come October 1st, their choice is reserve currency of the yuan or reserve currency of the USD. You agree with that?
Yes.
So the way I see this is we should be out of this roller coaster ride by October 1st. However, I can sure see the U.S. spending the next 25 days negotiating a way to slowly take this USD back in and prolong this even longer. That's my opinion. I'm not putting words in your mouth. That's my opinion. Does that make sense?
If I was
and I'm not
better,
cynical. I'm just looking at it realistically.
Well, we're also waiting for the USN to come out because everybody is going to an asset-backed currency. It's just a matter of time, and this is my viewpoint. They're trying to delay this as long as possible. Hell, I'll tell you that within the last 3 days, I've got, I don't know how many texts saying Obama wants to hold this off till 2017. You know, specifically January 20th. Well, and then on the other side of the horse, people are saying, no, it's not Obama, it's Valerie Jarrett. She's made the statement that as long as she's in the White House, it'll never RV. Well, she's Iranian, and they don't get along with Iraq, yet they have to. They're trading partners. I mean, there's so many scenarios, subterfuge behind everything. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It's so to keep from having your heads
Go ahead, Jerry. I'm sorry.
To keep your head from spinning like Chucky, do like I do. Listen, separate the wheat from the chaff, and breathe.
And that's exactly. I agree 100%. And that's why I think through this the way I have. And I agree with Aiko and whoever posts this stuff on recaps. I mean, Obama makes an announcement that the GCR has happened. He doesn't care about us. Who's he going to announce it to? I mean, it doesn't matter. There's no point in it. So I just everybody be patient. Don't panic. It's going to happen, but just look for triggers. I mean, September 1st didn't come. That's fine. It'll come. So that's just my opinion. Not your opinion, Jerry. I don't want you to get in trouble saying that this thing's going to go till next year, but that's just my opinion. So
trust me, it'll get better. Wingman. I'll mute him out there.
One other quick question.
Sure.
Is that okay, Jerry? One other quick question. This IEX that everybody keeps talking about, and they want to tie it to this new exchange that is coming out. How does anybody know that the currency is going to be traded on IEX? I mean, from what I see, it's just companies that don't want to trade on NASDAQ or on the stock exchange. I mean, where did this whole idea of currency being traded on the IEX come from?
I think it's the Iraqi stock exchange.
So it's not the IEX that you see everybody tying it to that is starting trade on September 15th in New York.
I don't know. I haven't even, like I said, Iraq is just part of look over here.
Yeah.
Yes, they're doing things, yes, but just watch them and you can see where we're at in the process. They're not in control of the GCR.
Iraq is part of the process. Those things have to happen for them to catch up to the GCR. That's all that is. Anybody that wants to point to Iraq and say this thing is based on them and Mosul is going to be free and this car bombing in Baghdad that killed 10 people is going to hold this GCR, it's not. That's ridiculous. Iraq is going to go as the GCR goes. It's just a part of the process, like any other country, like Vietnam, like any of them. So
exactly.
But no, I couldn't figure out the IEX because their Iraq stock exchange was called ISX or something, wasn't it?
I think so. I
don't know. I wasn't actually talking about the Iraq stock exchange. I was talking about the new exchange that's opening September 15th in New York, that everybody wants to tie the new asset-backed currencies are only going to be traded on that, not on Forex. I can't find any proof of that anywhere.
Like anything else, they're going to keep it hidden until then.
Yep.
All righty, sir.
Well, I appreciate you listening to me. You guys have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Wingman, I've got you unmuted if you want to come back in. Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive, come on down.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Is this Rodeo Drive Central?
Yes.
I'm talking?
Yes, it is. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Okay, my issue is this. And I just want an opinion. I know you can't give me legal advice or anything like that. My attorney went on vacation, okay? I need a piece of paper from him to send to my husband so that he can sign it so we can get go our separate ways. But this may happen before, the RV may happen before that I'm going to be able to get the papers that I need. If I go down, I'm going to fly down to Texas because my brother and I are, he's in Texas and we're doing this together. And I have some Zim. Can I just put that into a non-interest-bearing account and leave it there? I'm just looking for a safe place to put my money and leave it there until I can get my master's trust and then push it.
Are you talking about after you exchange?
Right. If I put it in a non-interest-bearing account.
Yeah, the bank, yes. The bank is going to give you, don't put anything in your name because then you have an asset tied to you, which somebody could take it from you. If you got it in some type of bank vehicle, and I'm sure they'll have that type of vehicle there, you'll be okay. And then you can do with what you wish after the exchange.
Okay, because it might take, I'm just going to live on what I've got until everything goes all the legal issues and everything else go away. So, I mean, even one of their trusts, I could put it into their trust, not touch it. I just want my money to be safe.
Right, and those questions you can ask at the exchange, and the bank will say, they'll explain it to you.
Okay, great. Love you. Love what you're doing. Thank you so much, and may everybody be healthy and happy.
Where are you flying to in Texas?
Dallas, Fort Worth.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where your brother lives?
Yeah. And I'm gonna be moving down there as soon as I've got everything taken care of here. Who needs Rodeo Drive when I can have a rodeo in Texas?
That's right. I was fixing to ask you what the hell you doing out there where on Rodeo Drive where the women think that thigh-high boots, and carrying around some little foo-foo dog is rodeo. Not.
No, it's not. And, I came out here to do my acting thing and ended up being not one of the ones that was taken, but, I think I belong in Texas. I was there a year ago, and I loved it.
Well, from what I understand, it's probably a good thing, and you kept your sanity and your morals.
Yes, I have.
All righty, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty. Well, the Windy City, come on down.
Oh, hold on a second. Hey, Jerry, Les, Chi-Town, how are you?
Windy City, go ahead.
Can you hear me
We got
okay?
you.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Great.
Wait a minute. It's a little windy. Speak a little louder.
I just wanted to say to Art, Art, I'm glad that I didn't get an email saying that you were stuck in London or wherever you were overseas saying you needed $500 because I would have just deleted it right away. I've gotten so many emails like that from being hacked, and it'll be someone and they'll say send it to this hotel or send it there, and I would have deleted it. But glad you made it back, man, safely. But just wanted to say that ITT is a technical school, and a friend of mine was just reading me an article that said that they were shut down and that the students are eligible for loan forgiveness. He's going to send me the article. I'll come back in after I get it if you're interested in this article, you guys, if anyone's interested in it.
Oh, absolutely. Can you send that to my email, thewingitcall@gmail.com, and we can get it posted in our forum, too.
Sure. I'm going to go back in here and get it. But that's all I wanted to say. He's looking it up, and I'm going to have him send it to me, and then I'll put it on the line, on the site.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. Thank you for taking my call.
All right. Bye-bye. All righty. Star 2 to raise your hand. Wingman, I got you unmuted. Are you ready to come back in?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's go to Port St. Lucie. Come on down.
Good afternoon, Jerry. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Prep Buster here. Thank you. I was reading the very good email that came out just a couple days ago about the sequences and the new information regarding the exchange and the flexibilities that, or lack thereof, that was going to exist. And then for people with Zim, that there's a 3-day or a 48-hour requirement to make a call and get an appointment. And then,
well, let me address that one first.
Okay.
Nobody knows the rules. I think some people are taking shots in the dark. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but we all know that when this goes down, that we're all going to call and make an appointment within the first day or two.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. The reason for my question is not only the 48 hours, which is fine, especially for myself and my wife, but I've got my wife and myself here in Florida, and we got our daughter up in New York. And now our daughter doesn't have any idea of this other than that she's got this SIM and that she's got a substantial and a little bit of additional currency. And one of us needs to go to New York to be with her during the exchange. She's going to be required, I believe the way I read that particular memo was she'd be required to make a call within the first 48 hours and then explain to the person that she connects with that she has to have a travel allowance for someone who's going to be with her in her exchange up to a week later or 2 weeks later. They said there was going to be a 3-week window. That's what I read in that particular memo.
Again, we just all need to be flexible when because you're gonna go in first, and then you're gonna have money. So nobody's gonna need any travel voucher. You're gonna say, I need a plane flight. Say you go in, it happens on a Monday. You're in on a Tuesday. You've got money Tuesday. Even walkout money in your hand. You walk in. I need airplane tickets. So within 24 hours, or no more than 36, you're going to be up there in New York with your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So if she just delays her appointment a little bit by, say, if she calls in on a Monday, say, can I have an appointment on Wednesday? I think you can make that.
Yeah, okay. It's a push, but we'll see. It gave me a great deal of relief to see that the possibilities of being able to delay her appointment for, say, a week to give my wife and I a chance to get our situation settled out here and then get up to New York. That's what my hope was.
Right. Well, I wouldn't delay it too long.
Yeah.
Because like you've heard us say, you're going to have time to do what you need to do after you exchange. If you got a trust set up, stick it in the trust.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't.
I'm not talking about my money. I'm talking about the other exchanges that I have that we think we need to be present at, one or two other exchanges.
Sure. If they can just tell your daughter number one, pick it on a Wednesday, friend number one, pick it on a Thursday. And then go from there.
Okay. And that's very nice. Thank you, Jerry. I had one other question, but I don't know if you were...
No, go ahead.
Okay. Is it possible to get a transcript of Art's presentation today? I thought it was excellent.
Replay. I tweet out the replay.
Yeah.
I tweet out the replay. Tweet the replay out, and I also put it on my website, so the general public will be able to find it on the home page. You can click on it there, and then it'll also be in the forum.
Okay, but it won't be in print. It'll be in a replay.
No.
Okay,
no,
got
we
it.
don't. No transcribing.
Got that. I got that.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Sedona, come on down, and star 2 to raise your hand if you. Sedona, I am so sorry. I dropped your hand. Please raise your hand again. And whoever else wants to ask a question, star 2 to raise your hand. Sedona, Arizona. There you go.
Hi,
Sedona,
Jerry.
come on down. Hello.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Jerry and Iko and Art. Are we just poo-pooing what Art's message was earlier?
I have no opinion either way. I'm a host. I can't have opinions.
You can't? Of
No.
course you can. No.
Now the redneck can have an opinion, but the host cannot.
let's talk to the redneck.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, redneck. This is Taylor in Sedona, and I wanted to see what your opinion is on Art's message this afternoon. I thought it was great.
I've got my fingers crossed. I'll say this.
Okay.
If we think that we are the only sentient beings in the universe of this magnitude, then I think we have our head stuck in the sand.
Uh-oh.
How's that?
That's not exactly what I wanted to hear. But I think I'm going to have my own opinion, and I'm going to I like what Art said, so I'm going to keep that. Okay?
Okay.
And I want to thank you and Aiko and Art. So I'm going to sign out now, and thanks. Bye.
Bye. Wingman, what's your opinion about that? You know, Redneck got one.
I'll give you the New England Wasp opinion. But first off, I don't want anybody to ever think that if I disagree with something Art said, it in any way affects my relationship with him or my admiration for him. Art does a great job of collecting data and relating it. And he's been doing that now for at least a couple of years that I know of. Maybe it's been longer.
Yeah, what Aiko says, that's what I'm talking about. I just give short answers. I'm sorry, I should have expounded. Yeah, I agree with Aiko.
What I have a problem with, guys, I'll tell you what I have a problem with. Because again, you know, I've made this a full-time occupation, figuring out what the heck's going on with this investment we're involved with. And what I've come to realize is that anybody who actually knows what's going on isn't breathing a word about it, not even a hint, not even a whisper. Anybody who claims that they've got a contact high up that told them A, B, or C, as far as I'm concerned, is lying, plain and simple. What you can do is you can take all of the intel that's out there and you can put together a story around it that's very believable and makes sense in light of what the total intel package is being fed to, I'll call it Dinar Land. And inside there are reasonable conclusions. But what we see black and white evidence of this happening, not from intel groupers. We see it coming from black and white sources. We see it coming from people inside the banks. We see it from people inside the bond market. We see it from articles on Bloomberg. It's a mosaic. It's a jigsaw puzzle. And there have emerged in the past year some very clever people who know how to spin a good yarn. But to me, that's all it is. It's logical conclusions. It's reasonable deductions as to what is happening. But the fact of the matter is, nobody, and I repeat, nobody, except the people controlling this, know exactly what the deal is. That goes for dates, that goes for rates, that goes for participants.
And no, we don't know who's controlling it, so don't ask.
We don't, and we don't. We really don't. I love the Nasera philosophy. I hate the narrative that has come out with it. It is, as far as I'm concerned, it's like a 14-year-old writing a graphic novel or a comic book in his parents' basement. You know, all this stuff about Obama being fired, all this stuff, it's wishful thinking. I mean, hey, I'm right there with that wish. Okay, but that's what it is. That's what it is. That the world doesn't work that way. The world is immensely complex, and there are deals out there that we haven't got a clue about. All we're getting is the stuff manufactured for digestion by the general public, and in this case, a specific audience that is bent toward a specific group of philosophies. For the most part, Denarians are conservative Christian or candlelighters, as the popular saying goes these days. So it's people who believe in a galactic presence. It's people who believe in an energetic or spiritual transformation. And I'm one of those. But by the same token, I wear my seatbelt whenever I get in the car. And that's what I'm trying to hammer home now, and it's not well put, but it is what I believe the reality, and I liken it to my initiation into union construction in New York City. I got chewed up and spit out the first few jobs I did, literally. I was a babe in the woods until I realized who I was dealing with and how to deal back with them. And that wasn't doing anything dishonest. That wasn't doing anything immoral. That was being somebody who believes in truth and fair dealing. But you have to understand the complexity and the enormity of this transaction. So, what Art put out today, which is a conglomeration of the weekend's intel, it sounds wonderful. It does. And I'd love for it to be 90% true, because it's the narrative that I have. But that's all it does. That's all it does. It's the latest story, and I mean story as in fiction, around our exchange. Our exchange is a financial business transaction on a global stage. It's got nothing to do with us. It's got nothing to do with Iraq. Iraq is a puppet regime, pure and simple. Everything you hear, I mean, again, where's the bibliography? Well, these people said a lot of things this weekend. What are their sources? Well, I can't reveal my source. You can't reveal your source because your source is made up. And that's just the way it is, as far as I'm concerned. And by the same token, I know that we're really close, but I know it from what I would call disinterested intel, not foreigners, not people who have currency, financial people, bond people, bankers, people who are totally outside of the rumor mill that we're exposed to on a daily basis. And all I got to do is point to how many times can you cry wolf before you cry werewolf, before you cry zombie apocalypse. It's ridiculous, the level of intel that has been coming our way. And if you think you're going to walk into the bank and walk out 20 minutes later with $1 trillion, guess what? You better get your feet on the ground and you better get a deal about it. Okay? It's not going to be a 20-minute meeting. It's going to be negotiations. It's going to be contracts. It's going to be vetting. It's going to be people like Homeland Security and the FBI and the IRS. You're all going to be in on it. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. You got to be ready to stand on your own 2 feet and really cut the chase. So, forgive my lecturing mood today, but it's time, guys. That's how close we are, and we gotta hit the ground, not just running. We gotta hit the ground at full throttle, or we're going to make huge mistakes. And we're going to mess up this blessing, this wonderful, wonderful thing that we accidentally became a part of. Remember that. We are here by accident. We are here because the PTB screwed up. That's the only reason
And
we're here.
bless their hearts.
Yeah, and bless their hearts. And Tony and DC, even though they were being handled, they figured out a way to get us to the table with that Twitter campaign. So I am forever in their debt, even though I know all the background behind it. You know, there's no such thing as a pure angel in this deal. It just isn't. But there are people who have acted angelic on occasion and gotten us to where we are now. So
let us take from your neck of the woods those insurance executives.
Not them again.
You know, yeah, them again. Come on down, insurance executives.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Jerry. I'm just curious, since we're trashing some of this info that's been out there, I was wondering, by any chance, this misinformation, your name was brought up in this misinformation, and it said that you had cashed in along with Bruce Ray and a couple of others. Is there any truth to that at all?
No.
Talking about me?
I wish.
Jerry. Yeah, I wish too.
Oh, okay, let's go for it. Ico. And not only that, I can't believe you're a babe in the woods. I cannot just visualize that. But go ahead.
Well, I was when I was 30 years old. Not now. Yeah, 30 years later.
Let me address. There's a Twitter campaign out there for them. Bless their hearts, Dinar Daly, the Kennys, and the Nick Giamontos, and all that. They've got a picture of Gary McGuire. Ain't I pretty? And they even have a picture of my house up there. I hope somebody comes by and TPs my house, because if anything happens to my house, they're in big trouble.
That's good. You know who to get after.
Oh, absolutely.
So now you haven't answered yes or no. Now, I don't know whether you're being a politician, that you've cashed in with that email address that came out. No. Okay.
Nope.
So that I can put that to rest.
What email address?
It was some tell us something. Somebody will come on and tell you. TEL.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know which one. No, I haven't cashed in. I haven't exchanged. I'm still broke, and I've got the bills to prove it and the bank account to back it up.
Okay, now, first, I'm going to ask you just quick questions so I know where you stand. So you don't believe in that Joseph Dunford? Do we believe in any of that?
You know how Ico put it? I agree with Ico. I'm hoping for the best. All the stuff that's out there, I can only hope. And then reality sets in until we see something publicly. We have what we have until we see a public change. Okay?
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair, because it's been driving me absolutely crazy.
And you seem to follow me pretty close. Got a question for you.
Sure.
Am I running some type of scam? Am I selling dinar? Am I feeding the people?
Not even close. Not even close. And I think Ico hit it on the head, along with DC and what's his name? Who's the big guy? Tony. I'm sorry. No, not at all. In fact, you're the farthest person I've seen yet that just eliminates themselves. It just provides information, solely information. Now, that's me. Okay.
Oh, well,
so
I was taking donations for Okie and some other destitute people, and they think that I've kept it all. And
I think that's passe. I think everybody understands you. Once you put it out there like that, there's no way you'd be hanging yourself if that was not what you were saying you were doing with that money. So I totally believe you did the right thing for Okie. And I've been following him also, so I do understand that. And the guy's just come on with so many misfortunes But okay, all right. By the way, do you guys take any put any credence to the collapse of 50% and the crash? And I don't want to bum you out because I know you guys are trying to ride this wave, and I want to be on the upside of it, and I always keep myself. I try to, but then I hear this trash about some kind of crash, and I see Obama outside the country for 2 weeks. He's being lambasted by even reporters now are lambasted, and they won't even let him land on the tarmac there, or they won't even let him off the plane. So I guess, is it that maybe other politicians outside the world understand that maybe somebody else is in charge?
Let me say this, and then I'm going to go ahead and mute you. No. I'll answer. Anyway, I would like to think so, but also I'd like to say that there's been a lot of decisions made by this administration, a lot of alienation from some of the NATO people. There's a lot. So there's a war that started. All wars are bankers' wars. Biggest arms dealers in the world. Are you ready for this? The USA, Russia, France, Great Britain, somebody else. Those are the biggest arms dealers in the world. I don't care what they say. And War Dogs. Then that movie with Nicolas Cage. I can't remember the name of it. Why was the Syrian war started? Who created ISIS? There's a lot of things that are fabricated. We all know about the CIA. Ooh, let's not talk about them, but I do, because it's common knowledge about, they do things, start a war over here, fund these guys over here. And I think this has reached a pinnacle point with this administration that they have, here we go, I'm going to get in big trouble for this. They have peed in a lot of people's post-toasties, and they're tired. And a lot of things have revealed themselves worldwide, and they're not happy. So there's my answer. So thank you, insurance salesmen. Lady Justice, come on down.
I told you before, don't put my name out there.
That, ma'am, it's like Jerry Maguire.
Okay, number one, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for ICO commentarian. Excellent and right to the point. Number 2, Deacon, sometimes you feed into the foolishness. Just let it go. It's power in the tongue. Stop rehearsing and cursing what someone said, because as long as they're saying something, you're doing good. It's when you keep replying to them. Number 3, whenever you're not going to have a call like last Friday, put a notice up and say, no call today.
Sweetie, it was a last minute. I had no idea it happened, but I did have a call that evening. I did tweet out there was a call at 9:00 Eastern that evening.
Well, I'm one of those favored ones that was on the board. They got deleted from the board, then sent numerous emails, so now I just call in. So I don't get to tweet anymore.
You can follow me on Twitter, and you don't have to have a Twitter account.
Oh, I have a Twitter account.
Okay, well follow me.
I'll do that. But I know a lot of people was calling, didn't know what was going on, and they like you went in.
No, I had a personal
Okay.
emergency that I had to tend to.
Okay. It's all good. But just don't follow up with the Kenny's and the this and the that, and give them bad news sell. Let's stick to the facts. Nobody know this, and whenever we get it, we weren't to be a part of it. I'm not going to give them the glory. I'm going to give God the glory for accidentally bumping into it. That's all I got to say, Deke. Have a good one.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Wingman, you still there? Shows you're there. Well, let's take our. Ooh, look what time it is. We'll take our last caller here. Baltimore, Maryland. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
In trouble again.
I wanted to know. I've been in this thing several years, and all I've ever done is really. I listened to you guys since you started your call. I listened back when Tony was doing them. I have to deal with family. What is there any proof out there that you know of that this thing is truly real?
Yes.
Is it something you can share?
No.
Okay. Well, I take your word for it then. I trust you, and
I've been in it 6.5 years, and I'm not going anywhere. And just like you, I'm waiting. But yes, it's real.
Okay, Jerry, thank you, and God bless you, and Iko and Art, and I appreciate all your efforts. So God be with you. I know you need it right now, and all of you. So thank you, and take care.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Wingman, are you there? Hello, Wingman.
Yeah. I had to mute out again, but I'm back. So
okay. You know what? You got a little extra time?
I do.
Okay. Well, let's take a couple more callers. This people are used to this by now. This isn't Wacky Weed, Florida. This is Homosassa Springs. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry.
How you doing?
I had the same question the other woman just called. I had. Since we don't know anything for real, whether anybody's really cashed out or there's actual places where we can transfer the money, how do we really know that this thing is for real? I mean, there's been no proof of anything.
Well,
it's getting kind of disgusting.
Yeah, Fish, that's not true. There's plenty of proof. What you have to separate is the sensational narrative that we're getting fed these days. But Executive Order 13303 is a real thing. We own legitimate currency. Dinar, dong, rupiah, that's all legitimate currency that is going to revalue, and we are going to make a killing because we were able to buy it so inexpensively. The one wild card here is the ZIM. Okay, nobody really knows the entire, even the baseline story on the ZIM. We know that it's a bond. We know that it's going to be valued at something, and we're pretty sure that Wells Fargo is going to handle those exchanges. But everything else about it, yeah, that's kind of up in the air. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that this whole thing isn't real. It is. It's very real. I'm on the phone.
And I want to say this. There, as the more they hold this off or put out disinformation, Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. For a minute there, I thought I'd went away.
No,
The more they're trying to, it's the beat. I call it the beat down. The more they hammer it away and hold this off, the more discouraged you get, and the more people will opt out of it or just give up on it and ignore it. And then when it does happen, you get just a percentage of what you really should have got if you were paying attention. So don't lose hope. I've been there a couple of times myself going, I'm thinking, what in the heck am I doing? I'm trying, yes, Miss Justice, I'm trying to do better. If you have one of those moments, just relax and breathe. Let me take the pressure, and I'm dealing with it, and I'm just tell you it's going to be okay.
Okay. Can I ask one more quick question?
Sure.
Have you connected any relevance to the G20 in this thing? I mean, what's the relationship between those two?
Well, they say that within the Paris Treaty is the RV hidden in political language. I've read that thing frontwards and backwards. Some other people have. I'm trying to find it in there. I haven't found it yet. I'm not going to stop looking. And there's a great possibility that they didn't publish it or post it. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Jerry.
You're welcome. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Come on down. Houston, can you hear me now?
Good afternoon, Jerry.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Just kind of everybody's kind of in the same boat, and we're all in the same boat, thinking the same things. I can say on my side of the fence, I've got a personal contact as a paymaster, and they have instructed everything is real, and nothing has happened yet. And I know that from hearing you and Iko that you really guys are speaking from your heart and people of honor. And, and the last couple of guys have been asking the questions, because in essence, I've been on this road now 5 years, and, truthfully, listening to Tony every other day saying it's going, and we can now look back and see a lot of the reasonings behind this start go, and how they're weeding out some of the bad players and stuff like that, which we understand. And, in addition, the other night I got information that after the G20, they had made an agreement it'd be 48 hours before they'd make any announcements, and was kind of expecting something to be announced last night. So in essence, all we have had for probably 99.99% of the people on this phone call is listening to Tony and Ray Wren and others speaking of others that have already gone through, which, going back to Tony, I believe that my understanding was the politicians went through and then basically closed the doors on us, and we did the Twitter campaign, which was a fantastic experience. But here is my question of you 2 or 3 men of honor. My one question is this: to listen to Ray Wren always announcing that he knows somebody or he knows somebody, I personally do not know one soul that knows one soul that has actually gone in and exchanged and received an SKR or cash or anything whatsoever. So my question to any of the 3 of you is this: of men of honor, do you truly 100% know a true real person that you know personally that has exchanged either for an SKR or for cash? Do you know anybody?
I know an individual that has got an SKR.
Okay. And it's not liquid?
Nope.
Or is it liquid?
No.
Okay. So you do personally know one of your friends has an SKR, and that gives you the true benefit of hope, as well as I know that other people are contacting you for other information as a leader to us all. So in your truth and your heart, you know truthfully one person that has an SKR.
That's what I just said.
Okay. Well, I really thank you so much for what you're doing, and we all appreciate, any person that can bring us a tidbit of information. But, the tidbit I bring is my understanding was from the connection to the paymaster was it was supposed to be 48 hours after the G20 that we would have notifications put out. So it's quite possibly we get some notifications sometime tonight, hopefully, God willing. But, we keep on going down this choo-choo train.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Orange, Texas. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing?
Good.
This is an answer for that fellow that just hung up. If you remember, I told you about a week ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago, that I know a fellow that had signed an NDA, and yeah, he got what he wanted. So it does happen, and it is happening. It's not going away. We just have to be patient. So he can sit down. He's not too
privileged.
He's about.
And it's also who you know, and privileged people have always went first.
Absolutely. Anybody that thinks that that's not right is nuts. But you're totally stone cold true about that. That guy's about 78 miles from me.
And it's been like that since biblical times.
Yeah, it's just always the way it is. And I believe what you guys have said. Y'all have already said this before. We weren't supposed to find out about this. We weren't supposed to know about this. But guess what? Because of the new technology world we live in,
what can I say?
We found out.
As George Bush would say, damn the bad luck.
Yeah, damn the bad luck. Great. So anyways, I just wanted to tell that fella, in case he missed that call when I told you a couple of weeks ago, this has happened. So it's going to happen. So just sit back, like you guys say, be patient. It's coming. Don't get upset. And I think we're, like y'all said, I think we're way closer than we've ever been. So have a good day. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Art. Art? I can hear you. Art?
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Go ahead, Art.
Hello?
Art. I can see. I know people can hear me. Heiko, holler at Art.
Artie. Where's the Art? Come on back.
Hold on just a second.
Maybe he got kidnapped in Paris now.
All right, we'll take one more call, and then we'll call it a day. Seattle, Washington, come on down. And I don't want to hear about the 12th man or how great that team is, because they're not doing good right now. Okay, go ahead.
So all we want to do is say around the blue moon for everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay, Jerry, about 2012, the beginning, I had a contractor come in to work on my house, and he was an Iraqi. He brought along a helper who has helped the United States rat on the rotten ones over there, and the United States brought him and his family over here, gave him a salary, bought him a house, whatever. He was a sympathizer for the U.S. At that time, I was told that until Mr. Maliki goes away, this would never, ever happen. Isn't it a little bit strange that we're all now with the amnesty law? Zabari blows the whistle on 47 MPs, and Maliki's one of them, and they're going to crush down on these people real quick and hard. Do you think that that situation is helping our cause?
Well, yeah, they were told to go ahead and get those laws passed because everybody watches everything. We have people over here that, with a microscope, can tell the sex of that mosquito on that camel's butt about what Iraq is doing over there. They were told, okay, you can do this now, but you can take it up to this point. It's what I talked about earlier. So it's part of the show.
But do you think that's the holdup, since Iraq is not the focal point anymore? It's the GCR?
No, it's this can go at any time. They want you to watch, look over here on the right-hand side of the road, Iraq, what's going on, but don't look over here to the left, because that's truly what's going on. And look where you're looking at. And it's not a bad thing, but that's how they want you to perceive things.
So with this rush on in the month of September, do you think October 1st is a viable date?
I said back in July that I thought that a back wall would be October 1st because of China coming out with an asset-backed currency, and then everybody will want that money instead of something that's an IOU piece of paper.
Well, let's hope that happens, because if not, we're going to wait until January 1st. There's not going to be anything in between October 1st and January 1st.
All righty, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. Have a great weekend.
All right. Iko, wingman.
Yes.
I think we've reached that pinnacle moment. You got 30 seconds to sum up, give a summary, and then we're out of here.
Well, I kind of said it in my little diatribe. All we are is witnesses to this. All of again, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to say it's my opinion, because opinion is too weak a statement. All my research tells me that everything we're hearing in dinar land is engineered crap to keep us off balance. But this thing is absolutely moving forward in a concrete way. What happened in Iraq over the past week was simply part of the systematic implementation of various agreements among the international community. So we just gotta wait. That's it. It could be tonight. It could be next week. My personal opinion is if the Chinese are going to follow through, and they always follow through, with the October 1st declaration of asset currency, then the GCR must be in place before that, because it will create havoc in the financial systems around the planet. If the GCR is in place, that means the RV is in place, because one can't happen without the other. And when that does happen, everybody's going to get notified pretty much at the same time. There may be a little bit of an order to it, but not much. And we don't have to worry, because we are so tuned into this thing now. We'll know when the 800 numbers come out. We'll be able to set our appointments. If you make a decision that you want to delay your appointment so that this is a convenient or a convenience for you, you lose. It's not about your convenience, okay? This is a business transaction. You want to come to the table and make a deal? Here's the deal. Here's the day we're going to do it. If you miss that meeting, as my dear Irish partner used to say, tough shit Patty. So that's all I got to say today.
Well, and I'll say this. Lord, thank you for allowing Iko and myself to have another call and bring information to the people, whether it's educational or informative. Only they know. And the people that are listening, thank you. You're the ones that make this call. And that's it for the day. So, Wingman, what's the last word you have for the day?
Goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.